what a great game for him.
Always just a jersey number, now they know my name.
Look for him to be a candidate.
You're going to remember where you were,
Nice in the gym, I'm deserving of
which is insane.
coming off the bench.
The league is moving in a new direction.
He's done this in every single series.
I was coming off the bench.
No lead is safe.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Off the Bench. I'm here with my co-host, Jimmy. Jimmy, what's the word?
What to do, everybody? Man, we had a crazy Game 7. I'm ready to talk about it. Let's get into it. Off the bench, we here. Let's go.
Let's get into it, man. Game 7 talk. Like everybody knows, the first 3 minutes came out super hot. We saw Haliburton come off, hit 3 threes, 2 of them that were from especially deep. And then devastation struck in Indiana. Haliburton, what appears to be an Achilles injury, as he was trying to pass the ball, it looked like. And when he originally went down, I thought he slipped, and I found it weird that he didn't get back on defense. So, as you know, the camera panned to him, and it showed him slapping the hardwood, crying a little bit. I knew then it was a devastating injury, and reports came out that it was obviously a torn Achilles, and he headed straight to the locker room, couldn't put any pressure on his leg. And it's a terrible way to end a run. You don't want it to happen this way. I know Jimmy is not the biggest Haliburton fan, but he wouldn't wish this upon anybody or anything. With that being said, from the game aspect of it, the Pacers did try to stay in it. They had scoring punches from Siakam. Nembhard hit a 3 to take the lead going into halftime. But when that third quarter and fourth quarter rolled around, man, that OKC defense was on one. I saw TJ McConnell struggling to bring the ball half court. Obi Toppin kept fumbling the ball. They were causing turnovers on turnovers. SGA, despite the poor shooting game, still had a really good game. He had 29 and 12. And contributions from J-Dub, Chet Holmgren with 18 and 8 and 5 blocks, which was major. The better team did win in this game, but there's still that what-if narrative on what if Haliburton played the full game and the injury didn't happen. But like I said, Caruso and Cason Wallace also played out of their mind off the bench. They both scored 10 each. Alex Caruso almost had a putback dunk that was out of this world. If he would have hit that would have been on SportsCenter for sure. But yeah, man, we saw TJ McConnell spark in the third quarter, and it just wasn't enough to bring them back in it. And I think that Pacers team just looked depleted without their captain out there. And it was devastating to see that. You never want to see a player go out like that, especially in a Game 7. This is what you train your whole life for. And for this to happen to Haliburton, it was tough to see. Jimmy, what did you watch? Or what did you see?
So on a serious note with Tyrese Haliburton, what an unfortunate injury that he suffered last night. Achilles. As soon as you could, the instant replay, they showed it, right? You could see as soon as he took that step to go towards the basket, you could see it reverberate. And that happened to KD. Same thing that happened to KD in the finals as well. So very unfortunate because, like you said, the lingering calf injury that you play on it, and the Achilles, right? Same story. You mentioned he came out the game blazing hot, 3 threes, right? He was playing with pace, feeding everybody. It looked like this was going to be a very competitive game, and for it to stop like that, it just really took the air out of the building, out of the game, and it just. I didn't even want to watch the game anymore, right? It didn't feel like it was even worth watching if not everybody was playing. You had to have a big game from Pascal Siakam, right? And Pascal, he couldn't do it by himself, right? He needed to have other people. And unfortunately, it didn't happen, right? You had Benedict Mathurin, who had a pretty good game. He had 24 and 13. And obviously, we keep saying his name over and over again. TJ McConnell, man. I mean, this guy answers the call every time. And Seeing his emotion after the post game and seeing how much it really meant to him, that really spoke volumes to the character, the leader, and just a teammate that TJ McConnell is, man. And I think everybody wish that they can have a TJ McConnell on their team. What a great player, and just great teammate, just great guy all around. So it's just unfortunate way to end the season for the Pacers, right? I'm not a big fan of Tyrese, but to see that happen, it sucks for the game of basketball. It just sucks. These injuries, we need to look into more and take these injuries more seriously, because I just feel like we're going to be robbed of a Tyrese Haliburton season for next year. We're going to be robbed of a Jason Tatum season for next year, a Damian Lillard season for next year, a Kyrie Irving. Like, it sucks, right? And I hope that the league and we can really look into the medicals into this, because something needs to change. On the Thunder side of things, Sonny, I think, right, your stars are going to show. Shea played amazing. He got to his spots. He attacked the rim. He didn't shoot the ball well, but he did what he had to do, right? J-Dub with a 20 ball. None of them shot efficient, but they were aggressive and they got to what they needed to do. Alex Caruso, like you were talking about, that one highlight that almost happened, that I was like, holy moly. When I let it play. If you would have hit that, I would have been like, put that to some music. Timeline edits.
Yeah.
But, Sonny, I just did not like the way this game unfolded, just because of the injury, man. It just sucks that we were robbed of a grand epic finale game 7, right? With just the two best teams, honestly, to finish the year out, right? And rightfully so, ended up in the finals, right? I mean, my Rob mentioned it to me yesterday. The Pacers are literally like the Thunder in the East. If you really think about it, they have 1 through 10. Obviously, Haliburton isn't a Shea, but he is their main offensive motor, his engine, and he's distributing, right? You got to have that. And obviously, you saw the impact of Haliburton not being there. They weren't able to really make their offense hum the way it usually is. And obviously, Rick Carlisle is a good coach, but you can't. He's doing all he can. You can't squeeze Obi Toppin to getting you 15 every night now. That's not Obi Toppin's game. Obviously, Obi's, exceeded expectations for you. You had a Neesmith that just went cardiac crazy in the Garden with the 6 threes, right? You had TJ McConnell, who's the heart and soul, it seems, of that team. And you got the Pascal Siakam, again, just crazy talent. It's unfortunate, Sonny. It is.
Yeah. I think you nailed it right on the coffin. It took the air out the game. And even if you're an OKC fan, you don't want this narrative like you won because the Haliburton got injured. You want to win it fair out, And I hate to see how the Pacers are going to be next year. They're going to be a year without Haliburton.
Yeah.
And I think this opens doors for other teams in the East to maybe creep in. We were talking about this earlier. The East is kind of wide open now. And, it was devastating. But other than that, congratulations to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They've also been through hell in their tenure too, dating back to the KD, Russell Westbrook era. They've had some bumps through the road, and they rebuilt the way they wanted to, and now they've achieved their goal. And Alex Caruso, one of my favorite players on this championship team.
Two-time champ, Sonny.
And I'm happy for him. I'm happy for SGA having a great single season year. He won MVP, scoring champion, and he won the Finals MVP, rightfully so. But we're gonna see how the Pacers are next year. But it's deflating. The vibes aren't looking good. Maybe you get a little bit more out of Nembhard being the lead ball handler in this situation.
Correct. Yep.
So
you got TJ McConnell. Maybe we get more TJ McConnell quarters during the regular season this year coming up. It just sucks, man, because like you mentioned, the East now it's a crapshoot. Honestly, it could go any way you really want to slice it, right? Orlando, right? We talked about Orlando getting the Desmond Bain. Look for them to be take a step up. You were talking off the air. We were talking about Detroit, right? Being a team that maybe could take that step up and maybe even get to the ECF, right? That's how wide the East is this upcoming year, man. It's just, and it's due to injuries, and it sucks.
You also said it earlier. There's been a hefty amount of torn Achilles in this playoff series, and it started with Dame in the first round, Jason Tatum in the second round, and then Haliburton in this finals. And it's a weird year for injuries. Definitely, it's been a few more than other years, but like you said earlier, like Kevin Durant in 2019, he played through that calf injury, and that calf injury resulted in him having a torn Achilles. Same situation with Haliburton. Dominic Minio, he made the point to me that this is exactly how KD went out, and you hate to see this. Even though I'm a Laker fan, Jimmy's a Knicks fan, we're basketball fans first, and we hate to see this happen, man.
Yeah, it's not good for the game, right? We want to see the stars play. That's what everybody is tuned into. To see the stars battle out in the biggest moments, and we were robbed of that. And I want something to be done about this, man, because I know injuries are part of the game. It's just clearly, Sonny, you know it. There was a huge risk, and it sucks because it's Game 7. Of course, Tyrese is gonna play, and I think it's unfair to blame Tyrese for going out there and playing on it, or
Game 7.
It's Game 7. He's got to play, right? Because then he would regret it for the rest of his life if he didn't take that moment. And so, it just what a warrior Tyrese Haliburton is, really. Again, I called him, but we heckled him during the playoffs, but never when it comes to someone's health, we take that seriously always. And I hope that he has a speedy recovery, and I can't wait to see him in 2026, man. I really can't.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see him, and wish him the best.
For sure. And like we said again, congratulations to Oklahoma. You win your first ring. Hope to get there again next year. And only time will tell what's going to happen with OKC, man. They're starting to look like a dynasty. Sam Presti's been cooking things for a while now.
Cooking in the kitchen. He's cooking.
After 16 years of being their GM, I think, or something like that, 15, 16 years, he got his first NBA championship. And their coach, Mike Dognut, how do you say his last name? Dognut?
Yeah, Diggin'. Yeah. It's something crazy.
Mark Dino. Dino.
Haagen-Dazs. I don't know. I don't know. What a great coach.
He's actually one of the first head coaches to win multiple Game 7s without a loss. So shout out to him. I know he's got the whole OKC Thunder in a groove, and the offseason is going to be interesting.
Real quick before you say, quick note. The coach, OKC coach, MD and Caruso. What a story, right? They were in the G League, the Summer League, G League, with the Thunder. And what a story. Now they win a title together, right? So it all comes together full circle for Caruso and their head coach, man. Crazy.
But yeah, man, we wanted to do more like for this episode, but with the whole injury, man, it kind of derailed the game. And we kind of we don't really have much, to be honest, because it derailed the game. OKC won, and they pretty much beat them in the second half. Pretty fair and square. But that has been this episode. Jimmy, any last words? Anything you want to say to everybody?
Oh, man, I appreciate you guys watching and supporting us. And like I said, be on the lookout for more content. We actually have a football episode coming up for you guys. Really excited about it. We're going to get that content out to you guys. And honestly, let us know if you guys have any sports news you guys want us to talk about. Obviously, NBA or NFL related that we can cover, because this is what we're here for.
Today is Monday, and today's Monday, and we know the draft is this Wednesday. So if you look on our page, we posted our mock drafts of the top 10 picks. So if you guys want to comment on that, say what you guys want to say. But we're going to be watching the draft. I'm going to be tweeting about the draft. So catch me on Twitter and follow us on all social media platforms. Shout out to our editor, Matt, Timeline Edits. You've been doing amazing. The last video was amazing. I just want to put that out there. Shout out to Rob, behind the scenes and everything. He's kind of the logistics guy of everything. So we appreciate all the help behind the scenes. And this has been Off the Bench. Thank you for watching.
Out.